All right, we are back with the GSMC Wrestling Laureate Podcast brought to you by the GSMC Sports Network. I'm your host, Eric Rodriguez, here every Monday through Friday, 8 p.m. Pacific Time, 11 p.m. Eastern Time. Here to talk about everything in terms of professional wrestling. Just kind of reflect on what we talked about right quick. We had our, WWE SmackDown preview. We talked about some, my Thursday night wrestling review with, TNA, Ring of Honor. We talked about that. We also talked about WWE Bad Blood predictions. Make sure you check that out. Obviously, leave any comments inside the section so we can have a nice little ongoing conversation about it. Also, we talked about Shane McMahon possibly being all elite. It could happen. It's still up in the air right now. But from a business sense, it makes sense. It makes pivotal sense. And I got a new chat right here. One question from my boy Logan James. Tam Nakana, mother is Bull Nakana. I think she might be. Don't quote me on that. Um, she was such a great wrestler. Oh my God, that's the reason why she was in the Hall of Fame. Um, I think that once again mentioning Japanese stars like Asuka and Io Sky. Oh my God, like I still can't get over Candice LeRae beating Io Sky for the champ. That's crazy. Oh my God, damn. But I like obviously keep the questions coming. Tam Nakano, the mother of Bull Nakano. The mother? No, I think Bull Nakano, wasn't she the I gotta definitely fact check that 1,010%. So stay with me on that. But obviously, before we run out of time, I got 14 more minutes. So let's go. Let's see if we can wrap this up right quick. Um, let me open up my notes. All right, here we go. So AJ Lee chimes in after the fans basically call her out, wanting a WWE return to help CM Punk at Bad Blood. It's a possibility. It's a possibility. On via social media, you saw CM Punk and AJ Lee, training, and then CM Punk dropped the teaser saying that maybe he's going to train his wife to come back to the ring once again. A lot of AJ Lee fans went crazy on social media. Also, a lot of CM Punk fans. Also, there was a lot of people on the other side of that too. They're like, you know what? All right. Once again, WWE trying to promote nostalgia instead of young superstars, which is exactly why you saw the downfall of WCW. But I feel like in this case, it'd be different. It would be it'd be different. You would see AJ Lee come back. You would see her automatically as a main title contender. Not a lot of superstars can kind of come back. You have, Asuka waiting in the wings. You have Charlotte Flair. You see, Becky Lynch. We're not too sure what her status is. Somebody like AJ Lee, I was kind of flirting with the idea that she would wind up on NXT with her husband, CM Punk, them kind of, creating not like a stable, but kind of being a brand within themselves and stuff like that. And I feel like that'd be pretty awesome. I can definitely see AJ Lee coming back to the WWE. All right. So next, of course, AEW is finally, kind of making it noticed that they are signed by HBO Max, which is great. I've been wanting this deal to kind of happen for the longest time because the main reason why a lot of people probably kind of shy away from watching AEW PLEs is that, you still have to pay, and of course you still have to pay in terms of WWE, but you pay monthly, and this could definitely open up a lot of possibilities for a lot of people think AEW is going to replace Rampage for Shockwave. I don't for Shockwave. I think that's what it is. I don't think that's the case. I think that with this deal with HBO Max, you're gonna have some PLEs, and I feel like every 2 weeks, kind of like WWE Saturday night's main event, you're gonna have Saturday Night Shockwave, which is gonna be exclusively on HBO Max, kind of being a PLE that is not a PLE, which will ultimately kind of have Dynamite and Collision to kind of be like, you know what, like this might this might limit the match card, but this is going to also cause a lot of superstars to kind of, to kind of be a part of these big things. And that's, it's going to cause them to want to negotiate their contracts, have the extensions, also sign new deals, long-term deals in terms of All Elite Wrestling. But I don't know, this whole Saturday Night Shockwave, I know you have Collision. I feel like Collision belongs on another day before Saturday, and I don't know if that makes sense. Kind of going head to head with the UFC. fight night. Saturdays you have college football. It's not a good booking. I want to see I want to see it moved. But then again, I'm thinking about it. You're like, how are you going to go against your competition? Monday Night Raw taken. Mondays are taken. Tuesdays NXT taken. Maybe you can have Collision happen on Tuesdays. Dynamite goes to no, but moves to Thursdays, maybe, possibly. But then again, Ring of Honor is not so like I don't really know exactly how AEW can kind of work these little kinks out. But I don't know. Overall, you want to see Rampage gone. I don't like the idea of Rampage. Like I get it. You have all these superstars waiting to get time inside the ring to showcase their talents, and that's important. That is so important because you're raising a lot of young talent to possibly become future stars. So ditching Rampage altogether, probably, not the best thing, but I don't know, should be pretty crazy. And like I said, like I mentioned before in the podcast, Daniel Garcia absent backstage during AEW events amid WWE rumors. Like, you have the Lucha Brothers that are right there with WWE, have not yet quite locked down the deal. So a lot of things are up in the air right now, especially with this possible, even in an interview, Swerve Strickland said that, they have Fox. Like, what does that mean? Is it true? Is whatever source he's using credible? But Daniel Garcia right now, he's a star. I would love to see him come back to AEW, but coming to WWE, automatically I can see him as an Intercontinental Champion. He kind of reminds me of a young Randy Orton. I don't know if that makes sense. Just like the way he kind of holds himself up, the way he just once when he's disrespected, he can come back and disrespect you right back. Definitely gotta love that. I think it's definitely think it's kind of cool. Bryan Danielson's future with the final countdown in AEW is unveiled. Um, Much like what I was talking about, his last run in wrestling, it's going to be prestigious, and it's nothing really anybody inside the wrestling media had any kind of doubts about, I guess you can say. But overall, you got to take care of yourself. You got to take care of the future of your family. He's going to go against some of the best that AEW has to offer. He's going to come out on top. He's going to relinquish championships. He's going to leave AEW never losing the championship. And it's going to be sweet. It's going to be sweet. And it's going to be good for Bryan Danielson's legacy, or Bryan Daniels' legacy altogether. It doesn't matter. WWE, Ring of Honor, also, the independent wrestling circuits and also AEW. It doesn't really matter. But I don't know. Should be pretty awesome. Gunther credits Triple H for WWE success, saying that he's always had my back. And he really has. Gunther's career ultimately skyrocketed when Triple H took over as as CEO of WWE, CCO before Vince McMahon officially left, thank God. Gunther is an amazing superstar. Is it kind of pushing it? He could be that young guy who just continues to just win and win and win and championship reigns after championship reigns. But you literally just saw this dude hold the Intercontinental Championships for 666 days. And if you're a wrestling fan, it's not like we hate him or I'm getting bored of this. He's a crappy wrestler. It's not like that. He's an amazing wrestler. He puts on great matches, great promos. It's not like we don't want to see Gunther hold championships. But it's like Roman Reigns losing at WrestleMania against Cody Rhodes. And then like 3 months later, then he wins the Intercontinental Championship. You know what I mean? It's like, dude, you know what? At the end of the day, somebody else has got to have a turn. Someone's got to have a turn, man. Especially with the WWE World Heavyweight Championship, when that's the most prestigious belt on your promotion. Somebody else has definitely have to have a turn right now. They're flirting with the idea. I don't know if it's, I think it's like 75% true that Braun Breaker is going to challenge Gunther for the WWE World Heavyweight Championship at Crown Jewel. Should be interesting. Should be a good match. Overall, I feel like that would be a great booking. I would love to see Braun Breaker, kind of step out. Obviously, he lost his title to Jey Uso, but I don't know. Right now on Raw, the main champion is just up in the air. I don't really know how to feel about it. And lastly, we have The Rock confirms presence in Atlanta, Georgia, ahead of WWE Bad Blood. What you're going to see tomorrow is going to be a huge build up to exactly what WWE is trying to go for with their War Games match. A lot of people think Sami Zayn's going to team up with Roman Reigns, Jey Uso, Jimmy Uso, and you have that one last guy that could, that they're going to choose to kind of be on their side. And then right now you kind of have everybody on the bloodline: Solo Sikoa, Tamatanga Tangaloa, also Jacob Fatu. So there's a room for two more people. There's room for two people. I feel like The Rock has been maybe pulling the strings behind everything that's happening with Solo Sikoa, but at the same time, I don't, because this storyline can go either way, and I think both of it makes sense. He can either come out full blast and screw Roman over and just attack him at a match at Crown Jewel, or you see him, fake his way into a match at the War Games, and then once when it's his turn to come in, the final boss, you're gonna have Sami Zayn, you're gonna have Jey Uso, Roman Reigns being beaten, battered inside the War Game zone, and they're gonna look at the cage, they're gonna be like, "Oh, The Rock, our savior! Oh my God, thank you so much!" And he's gonna turn around and stab them in the back, and that's when you're gonna see a 6-on-4 brutal assault. And then you're going to have this new bloodline. You're going to see Jimmy and Jay going back and Sami going back to Monday Night Raw once again, leaving Roman Reigns all by himself, forcing him to kind of be like, you know what, maybe I'm never going to kind of be the original Tribal Chief. And that's something you see in movies all the time. Look at what's happened with Marvel and Disney movies. You kind of have the hero, kind of looking at this situation that seems absolutely, utterly impossible. And then you kind of he finds a way. He fights and he fights and he finds a way to kind of win the championship. Well, obviously not the championship. He fights for the little, the chili necklace and stuff like that, being the tribal chief. And he's gonna have to start his own bloodline from the ground up. From burnt ashes. From ashes, comes opportunity. So I definitely think that could be a possible way that The Rock finds his way into the storyline at WWE Survivor Series War Games. Generals gathered in their masses. Which is an awesome song. I love that Ozzy Osbourne. Well, not Ozzy Osbourne. Well, it is Ozzy Osbourne, Black Sabbath. War Pigs. I think it's awesome. All right, guys. Once again, that's enough for me for the day. It is 9:27. Once again, I got my boy Emran with his soccer podcast starting in 3 minutes. So make sure you stay tuned for that, especially if you're trying to become a soccer fan, or if you're already a soccer fan and you're like, holy crap, I did not know there was a podcast happening at 9:30 at night on an amazing, prestigious network like the GSMC Sports Network, who pride themselves on caring about you, the fans, your guys' opinions, your hot takes. Thank you guys so much for participating inside that chat. Thank you so much once again for tuning into the GSMC Wrestling Laureate Podcast, brought to you by the GSMC Sports Network. Remember to Superman punch that like and subscribe button to the show. Follow the show, follow the network here at the GSMC Sports Network. We do love a lot of peace, love, and positivity 1,010% of the time, but we get it. Criticism is all part of the game of sports. Feedback is a gift. Once again, if I have not made you a wrestling fan by now, we have a lot of podcasts. We have Saturday college football. Tune into Tommy's GSMC college football podcast. We got the NFL on Sunday. Tune into the GSMC football podcast with Kenneth. Tune into the Chip Shot football podcast with my boy Manny to find out all the hot tea in terms of the National Football League. And in terms of National Football League comes what everybody looks forward to. That is not really football, fantasy. We all love fantasy. Find out your stardoms, your sit-ups, who to pick up off the waiver wire, who to drop, who to pick up, who to start. We, Chris Shepard, my boy, hosts the GSMC Fantasy Sports Podcast. Find out how to make your team a WWE champion. We got Nelson with the GSMC Basketball Podcast. Basketball starts pretty. I think it's the 22nd. I think it's the 21st, 22nd. Or the 24th, not too sure. We also have the WNBA playoffs heating up. He also covers that as well, so don't miss that. So, don't be afraid to, tune into all these badass podcasts. We have all around sports if you want to find out everything from baseball, basketball, the NHL, cricket, whatever. If it makes major news headlines inside the sports entertainment, we have TJ with GSMC Sports, and we got Sports by GSMC with Jeremy. So make sure you tune into all those podcasts. Super awesome, super sick. All these guys are amazing. Watch them, learn from them, and definitely, they're good to watch. Good to watch, 1,010%. Once again, hope you guys are going to have an amazing, safe, lovely weekend with your family, your loved ones, or if you're that guy who sits on the couch and watches movies with their dogs and shares like an ice cream sundae, like I get it. Like, you know what I mean? CM Punk and Larry do that all the time. Just kidding. No, I'm just kidding. Moving on. But like I said, that's it for me today. First and foremost, stay beautiful, but of course, always love you.